Yeah, I know you're chucking my back on BT bad boy team. Say what you go be. Them no be with me on G. One lily. From Uju Elepa to Ikateo. I should have perfect into Sanleo. Because I know my dream, me kill. Jazz on jazz, but that jazz don't pass. Only strong beat to be so bad. Stand for my dream, I said, wear my crown. Get down on my knees and I pray to Jah. And see where you walk, tell me how you want to. And I don't know. Every sound from the street, that's how we roll. Yeah, you kill it, so for my wood, and you can't come on. You kill it, so for my wood, my wood, and you can't come on.
Snowstorm of 2026. What's up, bro? What's up, John? You knew the snow was coming, exactly. And now you are holding everybody else. Exactly. Have a good one, yeah. Alright, y'all. It's about 10:14 p.m. Monday, January 26th. I'm a little tired, but gotta keep going. I'm gonna put this together for y'all. I wanted to get a little bit more into a hobby of mine, which is trading futures. More specifically, trading instruments like ES, NQ, and NYM by leveraging prop firms. Now, the assumption with this part is that you already have the baseline knowledge of understanding fundamentally what a financial market is and how it operates. You likely also have an idea of how a lot of people make a living through capitalizing on or trading the price action of these markets. So if this sounds a little too complex for you, definitely go on Copilot, ChatGPT, and ask what are futures and how do people make money trading futures. Now that that's out of the way, I want to discuss my journey to becoming a funded futures trader because let's be honest, it's probably what you're here for. You want to know how you can make money from this stuff. That's ultimately what we all want. My journey really is no different from many who have come before me, where trial and error, tribulation really eventually guides us to a proven system of risk management tools that we can use to generate profit when trading these financial markets. I began trading futures through Topstep with the hopes of hitting the $3,000 profit target, then being moved to an express account where I could then withdraw 50% of these profits each week, before eventually being moved live where I can continue to trade on Topstep's platform or withdraw the profits that I gain and use this to fund the brokerage account where I trade futures and take on the full risk while also not being held back by rules and parameters set forth by Topstep. Well, like most, I thought this would be easy and I was quickly humbled. So here's an example of a trade that I have in my screenshots that was taken a little over a year ago when I first started to use the Topstep X platform that I trade on. So I have 12 micro NASDAQ contracts, about $110 in profit, with a target of about 50 points above the current price, looking to secure a quick $1,200. Now my stop loss set at about $700 or 30 points or so from my entry price. Now you might look at this and say, well, you're in profit, green's green, but this is wrong. This is far too much size for a 50K account that only has $2,000 in drawdown available before the account is shut down, at which point you need to start over completely. So with that ratio of risk to reward, if I lose 3 trades in a row, the account is blown and I need to spend another $50 for a combine to attempt to hit the $3,000 profit target again. Definitely not sustainable. Most people, myself included, fall into the cycle of just running through combine after combine because it's only $50, right? But that mindset is definitely going to leave you deep in the red. And honestly, it creates poor risk management and habits that are eventually going to have you blowing your Express or Live account when there's real money on the line, which you definitely don't want. To develop a disciplined mindset, it definitely takes time. So about 6 months after starting trading futures on Topstep, eventually I got lucky on some news candle and hit that $3,000 profit target. I was moved to an Express account, and all I needed at this point was 5 days of $200 or more in profit, and I could begin taking withdrawals from the platform. Now, naturally, my mindset hadn't shifted from my days of blowing combine after combine by over leveraging. So I took the same approach in the actual account that I did in the simulation. I loaded up on contracts, set a real tight stop loss, and moved it to break even as soon as I saw profit, and really just crossed my fingers from there, praying that my PT would hit. Not really the best approach for this. So I gave this a shot, and this of course backfired, and you'd see trades like the one we're currently watching, where a small move in the NASDAQ would reap extremely large profits or extremely large losses, but 9 times out of 10, seeing that large P&L would do something to me psychologically, and I'd either cut the trade the moment I saw profit or move my stop to break even too quickly, or I'd let a loss grow and grow until the account was eventually blown. Right here we see about $563 in realized losses, an unrealized P&L of less than $200, and the trade essentially hits my break-even stop, and I neither gain nor lose anything significant. This is also not sustainable because you're wasting your time. And again, a few wrong trades with this method and you're definitely cooked. There's really no two ways about it. So I had to switch things up. But here's an example of my P&L chart trading one of these accounts in this degen manner. So you'll notice many trades each day, upwards of 15 plus trades on any given day, and massive losses posted in a single trading session on the 21st. A loss that wipes out pretty much 2 weeks of work, and then a win the next day that required 38 trades to not even make back half of what we lost the day before. Truly nasty work, and it's really easy to fall into a vicious cycle like this when you're trading these prop firms. That's the negative side of things, but what if there was a better way? What if there was a way to leverage the capital that these firms give you, access to, gains and consistent results and profitable trades, and really scale this prop firm trading to multiple accounts to really amplify your profits. This is possible. I'm going to share with you what I've been doing to get these sort of results. So I took some time off from trading futures, really only focused on practice accounts until about 2 weeks ago when I went to Topstep. As always, bought myself 350Ks, but what I did differently, this time I told myself I'm not going to buy another combine until I'm purchasing it with profits from Topstep. I joined 2 trading discords that had proven track record of success, held myself to only taking the trades posted in these groups. One group does the voice alerts, the other does typed alerts. Both let you know when to enter and when to exit trades, which really makes things easy and takes the guesswork out of it. I'm pretty busy with my actual job during the week. This format really works best for me and allows me to still focus on my job while passively taking trades here and there when I had downtime or when I had a day off and wasn't working. So I told myself that, I'm only going to trade the New York market. I take a trade with 3 MNQ contracts to start, and then would increase this to a max size of about 7 contracts. I'd only add these remaining few contracts when the trade went green, 10 or more points, and then came back to my entry. And I really would only add to winning trades. I wouldn't move my stop loss at all once it was set, stuck to it. Taking this approach, to trades like this on January 16th. I took 2 trades before this. It landed me a very small profit, and then this trade posted by the group I'm in definitely made the day there. So I followed these guidelines for about 2 weeks straight. Some days I would make a lot of money, other days I would take extremely small losses or just wouldn't trade at all. But what was different was that I was less stressed this time around. So if the groups didn't take a trade, I didn't take a trade. I'd enter the trade when they entered, I'd exit when they exited, and this took all the guesswork out of trading and allowed me to instead just enjoy my day and know that there was always another trade that could be taken. So wasn't forcing anything. Good news, taking this approach allowed me to reach that $3,000 profit target in 7 trading days, as you can see on this monthly P&L calendar. The 19th was MLK Day and the market was closed. But beyond that, I achieved an 82% win rate within this period and a 6.51 profit factor, which is incredible. This means that for every dollar in gross loss, I'm generating $6.51 in gross profit. So extremely high efficiency trading where I'm truly maximizing those gains while also minimizing the losses. The difference is, a simple mindset shift. So trusting the process is really what got me where I needed to be. And I have 3 Topstep funded express accounts that I'm trading on where I currently plan to take multiple payouts. Definitely going to keep recording videos like this to document this journey. So you can see my Topstep dashboard right here. My first trading day for these accounts today, 13 trades with $164 in profit. Honestly, not proud of the amount of trades I took. That approach is definitely not what got me here, so I'm going to go ahead and dial things in a little bit going throughout this trading week, especially with FOMC coming this Wednesday, January 28th. But I'll report back at the end of the week with a recap of the trades I took with the groups that I'm in, how my mindset was during these trades and what results we came up with this new approach. So keep it locked, stay tuned. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Until next time, onwards and upwards.